Are you guys excited?
Yes.
I'm excited for you to be here. We're going to clean our slates this morning. We're going to start, and we're going to focus as a team, which I think is the most exciting thing. First, I want to introduce myself.
We have to lower the music.
Oh, we have to lower the music. We got it. My name is Michelle Gibson. I've been working with you guys now in your organization for about 2.5 months. I'm not going to lie, it's been a very exciting 2.5 months. I'm grateful to be in business with all of you. My daughter had a basketball coach. She was like 10. And he would circle the kids around, and he would say, now's your time to shine. You get an hour on the court to play as a team and to perform. And he would have them shake off the day. So he would ask 3 questions. The first question he asked was, how are you feeling? Right? And the answer was good. How's your game? The answer, the response that he looked for was great. And how's your talent? And it's awesome. So we're going to be a little cheesy this morning. How you guys feeling?
Great.
Good. How's your game? Great. How's your talent?
Awesome.
Yeah, it is, and it's about to get a lot better as we go through this presentation today. So there were some promises made that we would be interactive. If you want to be called on, you should be sitting in the back. Hey, Gina, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. They say that education is an interaction. It's like going to a concert and deciding to sit in the back. The experience is different than sitting in the front. So my role today is to engage you guys so that everyone has a phenomenal experience. Does that sound great?
Yes.
Okay. And if you don't want to get called on, don't raise your hand. Is that fair? Okay. So they gave me this clicker. And poor Carl's been working next to me now with everybody, and I'm technology challenged. So if anything happens, just say, hey, Michelle, slow down, and I'll start again. So level up the one-step listing presentation. The worst time to think about what you're going to say is while you are saying it. How many of us are guilty of that? I think I just did it. Can we raise our hands? Why is that? Why is that? What do they say? Because you're not prepared. What else? You don't have a plan? What else?
Tends to be based on emotion and spontaneity versus thought and reason.
Emotion and spontaneity. It's funny that you say that, Frank, because we're going to talk about that. Our job is to influence people, influence buyers to buy houses and sellers to sell their house, to become a catalyst and increase their timeline or support them through their forever timeline, which seems we're doing a really great job of that in this market. Our goal today is that we adjust the way we look at our business. First of all, everyone here is a business owner. We work for ourselves, we're independent, and at the end of the day, the input you put in is the output you receive where? Say it louder. In our commission check. And can you believe how much they pay us to do this? The average commission right now for a home sold in our area is about $10,000. Okay, so we're going to look at this from the perspective of business ownership. I guarantee you will leave with one applicable tactic that you can use in your business as soon as you leave. All of the classes and any education that I bring to you is relevant in today's market right now. You can leave, we can take a break, you can pick up a phone and have a phone call, and it will have an impact on the person on the other end. Is that fair?
Yes.
The cool thing is you own your own business. I forgot to breathe. Sorry, guys. and you get to decide what you apply and what you don't apply. when you apply it, and how you apply it, if you apply it at all. And then we're going to walk away with some better dialogue and objection handlers. Does that sound great? How's your talent? Awesome. It's awesome. Who said that? I love that. It was you? You guys are great. Okay, let's talk about it. Opportunity cost. Does anybody know what an opportunity cost is?
Cost of an opportunity.
I love you. It's the loss of a potential gain from choosing one alternative over another alternative. So let's bring the seminar, for example. If I had chose to show up unprepared, do you think you guys would know? Yes. Would you come back next time? No. Would I be able to grow my influence and help grow your businesses? No. No. Do you think they know when you show up unprepared? The beautiful thing about fear is that when you run to it, it runs away. How many times have we been afraid of a conversation or an activity, rejection? So we avoid it. Yes? Nod your heads if you agree. Okay. So I'm going to just share something. I spent my whole life scared to death of failing. For a long time, my father would say to me, well, Michelle, I think you're afraid to succeed. And I would say, no, Daddy, I'm scared to death to fail. I'm so scared that I have never actually applied myself 100% to anything that I had ever done. Because on the other side of that fear was that if I did apply myself 100% and I put myself out there, that I would be rejected or fail anyway. How many people can relate to that? Raise your hands. Come on. Give me a break, guys. You're telling me you're showing up on these listing presentations without a CMA because you're not afraid of what they're going to say? I think when you do the activity, when you take the plunge, when you commit to yourself, the fear disappears. It paralyzes people. I don't want you guys to be paralyzed. And I certainly don't want you to paralyze your clients. Right? So I sit with a lot of agents, a lot of great agents, a lot of phenomenal business owners. And at the end of the day, the ones who prepare do what? They win, right? They win. Why do you think that is? Yeah. Time is what? If I give you my time, what do you think? Do I care about you? Am I invested in you? Okay. So these agents, they say, well, I'm going to give you some excuses. You can throw out more if you'd like. I work mostly referral base, so I really don't need a listing presentation. Everybody knows me in my market. My phone just rings. I just show up, and they already know me, so I don't have to show them anything. No, I don't get the listing signed on the first appointment. This is relationship building. Well, I'll tell you what. There are a lot of people who get the listing signed on the first appointment. And the reason why is because they're prepared, and they know that they're going to make $10,000 when this property sells. Think about that for a minute. $10,000 for 45 minutes to 1 hour, and many people don't even have a presentation. I've got guys running whole companies that I meet with, big organizations, and they don't have presentations. 85% of the population learns visually. Think about that. Okay, home sellers. I'm going to release your fear right now. 76%. this is a NAR statistic, will only interview one agent. Well, man, Michelle, how do I know if I'm the one agent? Well, I don't know, guys. Ask. And I'm not trying to be funny. I mean, and if you're not comfortable saying, hey, what did the last realtor say as a price valuation? What did you hear from your last real estate agent that you liked and would like to be replicated on this transaction? So that you know maybe you're their only one. And what does that mean? If you're their only one, that means that 3 out of 4 sellers, am I allowed to turn my back to the camera as I walk around? 3 out of 4 sellers will sign with the first agent they interview. And over 50% sign on the spot. What do you guys think? It's pretty heavy, right? So I'm going to give you some hacks today. When somebody says to you, I'm not going to sign today, they are 100% ready to sign today. They are actually talking themselves out of it. I came from an environment, a team that I just last played on, where I was mandated to have 40 appointments a month, 10 contracts, every single month for the last 8 years. I'm going to give you the recipe to working with these people at a really high level, building the rapport, and closing them. The numbers don't lie. We have to relieve ourselves of believing that people don't sign the first time we meet with them. Why do you think we feel that way? What is it in us that makes us feel like they're not going to commit to us on the first date? I've sat with a bunch of you guys, and I'm pretty sure I sit with you again, over and over again. So what do you think it is? Why do we think they're not going to sign? Do we think we're being pushy? Go ahead.
I think it's because if I'm interviewing people, I would want to interview more than one person.
Okay, that's awesome. You're like 25% of the population. What would you be looking for when you were interviewing multiple people?
I think I'd be looking for confidence, I'd be looking for education, and I'd be looking for market knowledge.
Terrific. We're going to go over all of that today. How many other people in the room would interview 2 agents? Did you go to 2 BMW dealers? 3 of you, 4 of you. Did you, I'm just curious, let's talk about big ticket items. How many financial advisors did you interview? Insurance brokers? You guys have life insurance? You should. Your business owners? 5, 6. 2 people in the room. I'm pretty sure the rest of us used the guy that showed up that we were referred to. Yes? Because we trusted somebody. Okay, so cool. Building your business. What are they looking for? Here's the key, is that questions build relationships. Well, they build conversations. The conversations build relationships. And the relationships build you guys opportunities. So when you're at that kitchen table, that is your opportunity to build your referral business. What are they looking for? When polled across the country nationally, they want someone who's honest, who cared, who listened to their needs, who is competent. The number one thing people are looking for when they meet with you is, can you get the job done? The biggest trigger for that is confidence of what you're talking about when you're talking about it, right? So when we lose because we don't know the market we're playing in. And I'm going to give you some hacks today to help you know the market better and hold yourself accountable so that you perform at a higher level. They want to have a great experience. You want a great line? I'm your neighborhood expert. I'm a realtor of choice. Why? Because I care, because I take the time to prepare, because I think about what I'm going to say, because I'm giving you my time. And it turns out our time is extremely valuable. Right now, people are scared. We talk about influence. and we talk about logic. We talk about emotion, we talk about logic. This is really, Carl's mad at me, I stole his quote from last week, or last month. It doesn't have to be difficult. They need to understand and trust the process. Our job is to trigger an emotion in them. What do you guys feel right now? Serious? What do you feel right now? What's the feeling you feel? You feel cold? Is it me or is it the weather? I don't, global warming, question mark. This has been the longest winter in New Jersey. What do you feel? Do you feel serious? Does it feel intense?
Engaged.
Do you feel engaged? Does it seem like I'm being honest with you? Am I confident? I'm doing a good job of, no, I'm just kidding. The emotion that we need them to feel is something that moves them. So we're going to work through taking them from where they presently are, right? Showing them where they could be or want to be, and triggering an emotion to move. Here's the secret. The emotion we're triggering is not fear. I do not want to scare you so bad that you go interview another agent. I do not want to scare you so bad that you think that your dreams are hopeless. I do not want to scare you so bad that you feel like you're going to fail when you go out and see that 30th house. I want to set standards and expectations and parameters for our relationship. I want to encourage you while driving you to the end, which is how we get paid, right? Whether we want to say it or not, we love selling houses, we love helping our clients, but at the end of the day, this is our profession, right? And I have to say, I've worked in a lot of industries, and $10,000 a deal, man, that's beautiful. Yes. What's your name?
I'm Ashley.
Ashley, hey.
So my question is, you just touched on like letting them know you're the neighborhood expert.
Mhm.
What if you're not the expert of that neighborhood, but you still want the listing? I want to know like how you kind of handle that, or do you just cram Google research before?
Yeah, so there's preparation that goes into everything. People will say fake it till you make it. I'm going to just, let's agree to disagree. I'm probably going to say a lot of things today that you disagree with. And as my husband knows, I'm always right. So there's no reason to argue. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but in seriousness, I'm going to say things that you might not be comfortable doing, and I'm going to tell you things you might not want to hear. And this is your business, and you get to decide how you act. If I had a listing in a neighborhood that I did not know, I would know the neighborhood. I would go drive by the neighborhood ahead of time, drive by the house. I might take a picture. I might look up on the MLS in that area. Like, I'm not going to use Monmouth Ocean MLS to look at Middlesex comps. And I'm not going to use Garden State to look at Atlantic County. We're going to look at information and data in that zip code and in that neighborhood. We're going to talk about the anatomy of a great CMA today because I think that it's going to help make you guys more comfortable in becoming that neighborhood expert. Okay, and information is free right now. It's on the internet. We were joking around before in the back that when I went to college, we weren't allowed to use the internet as a reference point, and I had to go to like a lab to send emails. Now, we have all of the information we need. We're just too busy, too distracted, too scared, right? To something to take the time and cut it out in our schedule. But you have to know the neighborhood. Now, can you list? Have I listed all over New Jersey? Yeah. Have all of those houses sold? Yes, 100%. Can we replicate, and when you're doing a cold calling system, are you able to figure it out? Yes. But this listing presentation with the right CMA when you go sit down with them is going to win in any market. It has. It's just proven. And the biggest thing is getting the price right. Okay, so every great listing appointment, any appointment you have in your life, do you guys know how long it should be? 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I hear. I feel sorry for as long as it takes. No more than an hour. So people lose engagement, right? They did this study, and an hour and a half is the longest you should ever sit with anybody. That's how people learn. That's how we develop relationships. I think you could do the appointment in 45 minutes if you send the package and prepare the way that I'm going to share with you today. What is the largest amount of time you spend during the appointment? Where's the pain point? What do you usually talk about?
Price.
What's taking an hour and a half? Okay, great. We're going to do price in a couple minutes, and we're going to kill it. What else? Commission? Okay. Staging? You guys talk about staging. Okay. What else? Paperwork? Okay. Touring the house. Oh, I can't wait. We're going to do a mock. Who wants to be my seller later? Raise your hand. Come on, give me a hard time. You got it? You'll be my sellers? Okay. So the easiest and quickest way to cut the time down that you're going to spend in front of people is by getting in front of them earlier and sooner so that they know who you are. The key is that you know me when I walk in the door and you feel familiar with me. My job when I'm there is to get to know you. There is nothing on that appointment that is about me, ever. It is always about the home seller. Why do you think that is? Yeah, nobody wants to know about us. What are we going to do? Build rapport. Ooh, I love that word. Yeah, the rapport. It cuts the time of the rapport down. So we send a pre-listing packet. The listing packet has a bunch of items. I'm going to unpack them right now for you. There's a letter to your clients. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for the opportunity to sit down with you and review your real estate needs. I look forward to meeting and exceeding all of your expectations and getting your home sold. For those of you guys who have a proven track record, this is where you add your bio and testimonials. I'm going to tell you a secret. Nobody outside of real estate knows what Circle of Excellence is. Okay, don't cry. It's okay. We're proud of you for earning it. Right? But I bet you if you spent the time on a letter or on a bio and testimonial package for your listings, it would be more powerful to your pocketbook and your business than the Circle of Excellence Award. And the reason why I say this is because people learn, how did I say they learn? Visually. And the only way that you can change someone's mind is if they read something, which is why books are so powerful. Right? That's how minds are changed. So bios and testimonials. 3, you're going to ask me how many testimonials? 3. Oh my God, does it need to be somebody that I sold a house with? I don't care. I sit down with people all day long and they hand me a resume. I don't want to see your resume. I want references. I want to know how people feel and what they think when they work with you on a regular basis. That's what's important to me when I'm getting into business with somebody. When you're interviewing to be a listing agent, you're getting into business with them. You're taking care of their largest asset. And many times they're scared. They might only do it once or twice in their lifetime. And they need to trust you. Okay, comps. This is where we are all going to agree to disagree. I pre-send the comps. Why do you guys think I do that?
To prepare them for the price,
To prepare them for the price.
without seeing the house.
Without seeing the house, I send the comps in the neighborhood. Yes.
I did that once, and what happened, the homeowners went online and looked at those properties, and they compared to theirs. So by the time I get there, they already give me their price.
That's why we're doing it. If you guys showed up today and were like, oh, we're going to go watch this woman that Carl says is really nice speak, but you had no idea what you were coming for, wouldn't you be a little apprehensive? Right? A little bit guarded, closed-minded. People care about the price of their home. This is their asset. This is where we make our money. This is where they make their money. I do not want anyone to ever be blindsided when we talk about the properties. How many times have we sat down and heard, oh, well, that house on the block, that was a divorce. And that lady around the corner was crazy, and she had an affair with the guy that lived behind her, so they both had to sell their house, and now they're living in the neighbor's house. Oh, that was a bank sale. Oh, that was this. all those objections that you guys have to handle when they see it because they're seeing it for the first time is eliminated. With the comps I send, I do not send a CMA, I just send the houses. And let's be honest, guys, Center Hall Colonial, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, with a basement, in a neighborhood that we're familiar with, even one that we're not, if we pull up the comps around it, can we comp it? Can we get within a 10% variance? Well, if Zillow can do it, you bet that we can do it. We're the market experts, right? So I send this to them, and I also say, if you have any questions or want to see other comps or think there are other relevant comps, please let me know before I get there. I'm objection handling before I get in the door. Okay, the seller checklist. I like to assign people work. It makes me feel like they're engaged, right? I'm doing homework to get there. I'm going to give them homework so that when I arrive, they're ready, right? It's really standard. After this event, I'm going to send out the package for you guys. The checklist will be in there. You can make your own checklist. I mean, this could be as easy as, sweep, right? Figure out what that funky smell is, because yes, we do smell it, and it does smell like cat urine, right? The Febreze is not fixing it. But just an idea for getting them ready to market. So they begin to get mentally ready to bring their home to market. Okay, and then this is the most important thing, and I want to touch on this, the seller's disclosure. I send this to them. When I arrive, if it's filled out, I have that listing. I just got a yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah. You fill it out, and they may as well hand you the key when you walk in, right? Okay, so now we have all this. When they don't fill this out, when I show up, I'm in there for an hour. Right? This is a tough appointment. They're interviewing other agents. These are all triggers, right? Okay, so now they're prepared. I want to just touch on to sign or not to sign a seller's disclosure. For a very long time, we were told not to sign the seller's disclosure. Last year, because we have amazing representatives at the state level and at our board, they changed it, and we're protected, we're more protected from triple damages in a lawsuit by signing the seller's disclosure today than not signing it. Okay? You are obligated to visually take a peek at the house. You are not a home inspector. But, if there's dead bodies in the attic, and they've been there since 1939, and you were at the house Thursday, and they find them in 10 days for an inspection, they're going to ask you if you went in the attic. They want to know, right? Is that fair? Okay, Todd, I love that. Okay, the listing packet. So in my listing packet, I have the same thing every single time. I have CMA. The CMA is a beautiful thing, because I get to pick the properties, right? So the properties needs to be how far from the house? Because I've heard some crazy things. How many miles? We go half mile, 1/2 a mile, 3 months. We go 1/2 a mile, 6 months. We go 3/4 of a mile, 3 months. We go 3/4 of a mile, 6 months. It's important because if you get this wrong and you miss the market, your clients lose money. And we want to make them money. Sure. When I run a CMA, it's within 1/2 a mile for 3 months time and actives and under contracts. I'm going to go over the recipe in a minute. And then you can go 6 months, 1/2 a mile, or you can go 3/4 of a mile. I've seen some crazy CMAs. I've seen agents sit down and something just hit the MLS the other day in my area, and I was like, nothing has ever sold for $3.5 million in Howell. I'm just saying. Unless there's like a unicorn factory or like there's oil there, it's just not realistic. right? So when we're picking out the comps for the CMA, if you're going to see a ranch, it should be ranches. If you're going to see a colonial, it should be colonials. If it's a bi-level, it's bi-levels. It's a split, it's a split. If you don't know what it is, I'm scared. Go online today and figure out what type of house it is. If you say, well, I'm not going to know what type of house it is until I get there, that's even scarier. Because the people you compete with know. And you got $10,000 on the line. Okay, I print out 3 of these. I take a look, I adjust for price on site, and I give a variance of about $10,000 to $15,000 in my CNA. I drop it lower. I always do. The computer's the computer, I'm an expert. If I could be replaced with a computer, we wouldn't be sitting here today. Okay, I make 3 copies. This is crazy. For those of you guys who don't like paper, if you're going to try to do this presentation in person, digitally, everybody has to have a handheld device. It's really important because there's nothing worse than hunching over your laptop looking at the CMAs. If you have the paper, you can have your laptop or an iPad there, and you can pull up those properties and scroll through to show them condition if it comes up. Why do I have 3 copies? Well, usually it's myself and then the 2 home sellers, right? If there's one, there's just going to be 2 copies. But err on the side of caution, I always pack my listing presentation with 3. Okay. Ooh. I include the pricing triangle. You're going to see it. It's going to blow your minds. It's coming up. I include a piece of paper about syndication. Everybody wants to know, how are you going to get my property out there? Well, we syndicate to over 350 websites, and Remax SEO drives a lot of our traffic back to our own websites, and they need to know that. It's important. I usually put in an example of professional photos and marketing. I don't care how good the market is. It doesn't matter to me how fast the house is going to sell. It doesn't make a difference if it's 100,000 or 10 million. You're getting professional marketing. That's my brand. When the market shifts and they go back and look at your crappy photos from your cell phone, that might change their mind about working with you. It's definitely going to make trust harder, right? So all of this is establishing trust and cooperation. Okay, current market statistics. I work predominantly in Monmouth and Ocean County. It's really important that I know what's going on in the market. All of your regional MLSs have statistics that they can share with you and that you can run. You'll see them on like the left side of your computer when you log in. I want them to know what the market's doing. Am I boring anybody? Is everybody good? Okay, here we go. And then any prospecting tools I use. So social media, marketing, and advertising. If I'm a prospecting-based agent, I'm going to let them know that I'm calling for sale by owners. I'm going to let them know where I advertise and how I'm getting my clients. I'm never going to say I work 100% from referral, right? Because what if the buyer isn't in my referral base and I don't have them and I can't find them? They need to know confidently that I can go sell their house. That if nobody called, if your phone didn't ring, that I can go find that buyer for their property because I know how to find them. So that's why I share this. And I include listing paperwork. This is controversial, but I do it. Yeah. Okay, what's the listing paperwork that I include? A listing agreement. Yeah, that's it. Can you pull it up digitally and have them sign? Yes. If you want to walk them through the dot loop process, sure, no problem. I just know that the steps that I'm going to give you bring pen to paper quicker and easier and faster than opening up my computer and logging in and having them open up a dot loop account and register and then sign it. I could always drop that listing paperwork into my loop right? We can scan it in, and we can email them the rest. Carl, how you doing?
I just had a really bad flashback to when I was a listing agent,
Yeah.
and I wasn't prepared with the listing paperwork, and they didn't sign then, and it was like a $700,000 sale, and I never ended up getting the listing, and I just thought if I was prepared and I had the listing agreement with me, I would have got it signed. So from there on out, I never went to a listing appointment without the listing docs, and I would have to pre-fill it out without a price and everything, and I had a sticker that said sign here, because it happened to me once, and I vowed it would never happen to me again.
I mean, how many people has it happened to? Where you went and you thought you had the listing and you didn't get it? Liars, raise your hands. Come on, who are you kidding? We leave that house when we're unprepared. We think, man, they loved us. I nailed it. This is awesome. Yeah, they're getting their house on the market in 2 weeks. Boom. And then what happens? They ghost you. You forget to call them, right? They show up on the MLS and you're like, oh man, what was that guy's name? We're having real conversation. This is what happens to all of us. It's honesty. I want to talk to you about the anatomy of an appointment, and then I'm going to walk you through what it's like. And yes, it is this intense when I'm at your house. And I promise you guys we're going to end at 11:30. And if you want to go a little bit longer, we can. It's up to you. It's in your control. The anatomy of a winning appointment. Any appointment that you're ever going to take in your entire life has these 5 steps. Build rapport. Yes? I know you, you know me, I like you. What's the goal during building rapport? Yeah, like I'm human, you're human, we're all people. Oh, your kid is a Yankee fan. Man, I'm a Yankee fan. You know, oh, I have the same tile in my bathroom. Right? We're looking for some type of common ground. The better you are at this, the easier the rest of it is. If you can establish trust in the first 15 seconds, eye contact, smiling, right? Being calm, being confident. If you could establish that trust, it's so much easier. We move on to the second part of the appointment. I made this up, guys, so I don't know if you like it or not, but it's been working. It's where you analyze what they need. I don't know what I need. I need to sell this house. I gotta pay my mortgage, and I got kids, college, bills, car payments. I can't shop at Whole Foods. Has anyone been to Whole Foods? Like, what is that made for? People who are going to be bankrupt? So expensive, right? I need to analyze their needs. What happens during this piece of the appointment is I'm asking them questions about themselves, about where they are today, where they're going tomorrow, why are we sitting here, what are your dreams, what are your goals, what's the end game. I'm gauging for motivation. Do you really want to sell your house? Because if you don't, and I'll say this again later in the presentation, I've got great agents I can refer to you, right? I'm there to get the house sold. Okay, we analyze their needs. Let me go back. Ooh, I can use reverse. I'm actually not as bad a clicker as my kids tell me I am on the TV. Analyzing their needs. There is a financial conversation here, guys. They want to know what the net is they're leaving with when you're talking to them. They want to know, can I only show the house between 4 and 6 on Tuesdays and get the highest and best price? No, probably not. Maybe in this market. For 72 hours, you could get it done. But traditionally, no. You know, this is the conversation about what their immediate initial concerns are. What's driving their decision making? I want to know where they're going, and I want to get them there. Okay, after we analyze their needs, okay, I'm underwater, or I have to make $75,000 because I have, whatever it is, or my ex-wife took all my money and I don't know what to do now, so I have to sell my house because I have no money. These are important things. I need to know where they are in a mental state. I need to know what emotions I can draw on, because emotions move and make decisions. Logic does not. Logic does not make people move. It paralyzes people. It's an investment tool. This is a personal process. I don't care what anyone says. You can talk to me all day long and say, oh, I'm a type C personality. I'm really analytical. No, you know what, bro? You know what deck screws you bought in 1985. You're emotionally attached to this. There's an emotion driving it. And we need to trigger and pull on that. Okay, provide solution through value. I can sell your house. And you can make the $75,000 or $100,000. I can get you to Florida. I can find you a better location for your mom. I'm the solution. Do you believe me? Okay. And then you recap. After you go through their solution, you're going to say, is there anything that's still concerning you today? We recap. This is the number one spot where everybody loses the appointment. Right now, this is it. I'm going to show you because you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to close. But what happens is because we're not prepared and we're scared, and we're not learning and watching body language because we're concerned about the CMA that we did 20 minutes before we got there, right? Because of all those things going on in our head, we fail to close. What do you think the number one reason is you don't ask somebody, are you ready to sign the paperwork? You're afraid the answer is no, right? So what do we do in that time?
Is there anything else that you need? Can you sign this stuff? Would you like to sign right now? No. Can you explain to me? Is there anything else that I've left out that you need addressed at this time?
100%. What happens to people here when they're uncomfortable, you're right, is that they go back into rapport. And that's why you're in that house for an hour and a half. And that's why you think that guy's your friend. And that's why you're saying it's about relationships. Because I'll tell you what, you get the job done at a high level, you earn the referral, you earn the trust, you're coming back for more and the relationship builds itself through the conversations and dialogue that we're having with each other through the process. This is where you miss it, guys. I see it all the time. Sometimes it's missed at the beginning of the appointment. We sit down, we're greeting you, we're saying hello, we make the formalities, we're like, hi, I like you, hi, I like you, okay, great, let's get started. And a question that's personal comes back up. So if that happens, well, first don't do it. But if you find yourself doing it, say, you know what, let's talk about that later. I'm really excited to share with you what I've prepared today. And we read. Sure. Oh my God, hey, it's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for having the house. The house is beautiful. Everything looks great. Blah, blah, blah. And then maybe instead of saying, tell me what's going on, you would start talking about the pavers on the patio. Or you would see the son went to Dartmouth, so now you're talking about schools. You know, you're taking yourself away from the business conversation. You're there for a business conversation. Make no mistake. They're going to pay you 10 grand. Right? So we're the professional.
You're not friends no longer.
Right? We're having a business conversation. It's about your business and my business. We're going to determine whether or not we want to be partners at the end of this meeting. Right? I might think you're crazy. I might not want to take the listing. Right? You might disagree with something I'm saying. I might rub you the wrong way. So many things happen. So just be careful going back to rapport. It stops you from closing. And the more you know, I'm going to tell you a secret, the more you know about a person's situation, the more you feel, right, the less likely you are to act. So everybody has conversations. I have a conversation with you, you have a conversation with me. You give, I take, you give. At the end of that conversation, someone leaves changed, affected. Our job is to change them and to set them on our goal for them and our timeline for them, not for them to influence us. When I hear, oh, well, they really didn't want to list at that price. They wanted to try it. That's great. I'm in the business of getting homes sold. If you want an agent to test the market, I can refer you 250 of my closest friends. Do you want your home sold, or do you want to test the market today? Okay. CMA, what's included? Lucky for us, we went over this. Okay, this is like if you could go nowhere else in the entire world, if I could take one thing with me when we talk about the pricing challenge, it would be this. It basically says that you attract 60% of the buyers in the market at market value. At 10% above market value, you attract 30% of the buyers. You cut your buyer pool in half. And at 15%, a lousy 15%, that's like nothing, right? 15% above market, you're only appealing to 10% of the marketplace. Our job is to create urgency, and we do this through pricing. If someone were to say to me, hey, Michelle, God forbid you got diagnosed with anything. You're sick. My doctor says, I got a drug that will work 60% of the time. That's $15. Or I have medicine that would work 90% of the time, which would be pricing at 15% below market for the sellers. Well, do you think that people are going to be like, well, I want the drug that might work 60% of the time? No. They want a guarantee that they're going to be okay. The conversation around pricing is the guarantee that you're going to be okay. You're going to get what you want. We're going to receive the desired result and get the home sold. So this is really powerful because they learn visually, and people are crazy how they look at stuff. I'm good with bar graphs, but I'm not good with pie charts. This is another example of it. It basically says exactly the same thing, just a different visual, because everyone learns differently. Okay, this is the syndication tool that I use. And this is the local market. So what this looks like, and I put this in every single package, is year over year and percent of change. So how many people think closed sales are up this past month in April? Was 2021 better or worse than 2022? You guys think it was better? Actually, closed sales are down 18% in Monmouth County and 24% in Ocean County. Closed sales down. Something else that's interesting is inventory's down 40%. I try to read a lot so that I can have relevant conversations with people about a bunch of different things. This morning there was an article that came out that said there are more houses on the market. They're expecting 30 months before inventory returns to where it was. So for those of you guys who are like, oh, our price is going down, I don't think so. I don't think they're going down.
Michelle, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the syndication and talk about that a little bit?
Okay.
Because I saw that was on Blue Jones.
Okay. So you guys have List Hub on all of your MLSs because they wanted to provide you more value to the agent when you join the board. Right? They work on our behalf. So it syndicates out actually to 350 different websites, and our portal syndicates out through Booj. So you'll hear people say, am I going to be in the Wall Street Journal? Yeah, you're going to be there. Am I going to be on Zillow? Yeah, you're going to be there. Am I going to be on Realtor.com? Yes, you're going to be there. Trulia, every single other listen, you're going to be on every single website out there that advertises homes, homes.com. It's nationally syndicated.
You're just showing them pretty much, even though you know you're just giving them the
I let them know that we are using the market as a tool, and I also let them know that. Because I think it's important that they know that they're not hiring me for my syndication. They're hiring me because I've highlighted it and identified that it's a need in the business for marketing. And I've eliminated the playing field where someone can come in and say, hey, well, I syndicate out to different places and you don't. I'm quelling objections before they come up. Okay, just so you guys know, total side note, Megaphone is a really cool tool. And it syndicates out for you your own website with listings for 7 days. and it advertises it for you both pay-per-click and on social media, and the listings go right back to your account. This is not brand special, this slide, right? Like every single company out there syndicates out to the same place. The tool of Megaphone is, however. Okay. So this is really important to me because I want them to know the market that they're playing in. I want to have a conversation around where we were, where we are, where we're going. I want them to really understand it. And as agents, I just think you guys should also know it. You should know that, the average days on market is 24. Because that's going to help the pricing conversation when you're sitting at the table and they say they just want to test the market. Because if the average house is getting sold in 24 days, right, we can't test the market for 2 weeks. You miss the market. For every price adjustment, you lose value. I have another really cool slide that I'll share out with this that says how much value you lose for every price adjustment. And while we're on the topic of price adjustments, you can't make one for less than 3% to have an impact. And the truth is the internet changed that 3% to be chunks of 25,000, which is the way people search online. So when people say to me, I'm going to list it at 369. Well, 369 is the same as 375, right? People are searching in $25,000 increments, and as their price increases, $50,000 increments and $100,000 increments. So when we talk about pricing, right, and we know that people are looking in those sets of numbers, we're adjusting a set. We're never decreasing the price of the house. Right? We're just retargeting our audience. It's really important, the language that we use. Okay, let's talk about the appointment. Really quick. I walk in. When do I get there? Don't get there early. I'm just kidding. Have you ever had company come 10 minutes early?
No, I mean, get to the house.
Yes, yeah, I'm teasing you. Have you had that happen? And what's happening? Either your family's screaming and yelling at each other, they're cleaning up, you're not ready, your shoes are off. Do you have pants on? I don't know. Were you cleaning? Did someone spill something? Right? 10 minutes is a big difference when they're taking you into their home. Okay, so we get there on time, and when we knock on the door, we ask to come in. Okay, so hey, Massimo, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
It's 4 o'clock. You ready for me? Can I come in?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Did you need me to take off my shoes?
No, don't worry about it. It's fine.
All right, awesome. What do I have with me? I have my listing presentations. I have a sign. I have it on the front porch. And I have a lockbox. I'm going to walk in to the house, and I'm going to say, are we going to sit in the kitchen? Scope it out. And then I'm going to claim my seat and put my stuff down. I'm going to take out the folder. I'm going to open it up, and I usually will hand them a piece of paper, and I will say, hey, can you do me a favor and just jot down all the upgrades you've done since you own this home? I'm going to take a quick look around. Oh, let me show you. No, it's better I look around myself from the eyes of a buyer's agent, because unfortunately, you're not going to be here on every appointment when the buyers come in. Go ahead.
Do you do that to take control of the situation?
I do. Yeah. Okay, there's nothing worse than getting stuck in someone's smelly master bathroom and them explaining to you why it hasn't been upgraded since 1968 and seeing that the husband has horrible aim. Or have you ever been in someone's master bedroom with the husband and the wife as they're talking to you, and you're like, why are we in the bedroom? This is the most uncomfortable thing ever, right? Okay, something else to note, if it's ever chaotic, I always stop what I'm saying. Kids are yelling, dogs are barking, and I wait for them to come back on task. I need 100% of your dedicated attention. All right, so now I come sit down. I'm like, your house is beautiful. God, I'm so happy to be here. Blah, blah, blah. I make the rapport. I make it happen. I'm like, oh, you cook spaghetti? I cook spaghetti. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You like Glad garbage bags? I use Glad garbage bags. My God, that's so crazy. We're so much alike. You have a dog? I have a dog. You have a cat? I have a cat. You have a bunny? I would die if I was in a room with a bunny. But I have a bunny. It's okay. We're just making small talk. We're getting to know each other. Okay, and then after I'm in there and I'm sitting down and Massimo and I are face to face, hold on, stop, pause, reverse. When I sit down, I never sit across the table from anyone. I sit next to them, and I sit next to the decision maker. Guys, who's the decision maker? The woman. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure we all are on the same page. And women do rule the world. Carl, we were talking about that before. Okay, so I sit next to the wife, and she's next to me. Why is she next to me instead of across from me?
So you're on the same team.
Because we are on the same team. Right. Okay. And then I take out my CMAs, and this is true. And for any of you guys who think that it's not, I put it down in front of me and I ask them what's going on. What's going on? Why am I here today? What are you guys thinking? Where do you want to go? How are you feeling? What are you hearing? I do the entire needs analysis. And then I know that after that needs analysis and all those questions, they only care about one thing. What's the one thing they care about? If I talk to them about anything other than their problem, challenge, or the price, what do you think happens? They're like flipping through the folder. They're getting up and feeding the cat. They're distracted. They're nervous, right? They're like, we don't care about social media marketing. We don't care about professional photography. We want to know, what is our house worth? What do you think I can get for my home? So I always do price first. Because if we can agree to the price, the home is done. We're done. That's the only challenge. Okay, so can I get a time check because I'm terrible at this? I think I'm at 11:10, 12, 11:12. Okay, so now we do price, and everyone gets a copy of their own CMA, and I hand them pens, and I give them work to do. Okay? I say, before we go over this, did you have the seller's disclosure? Did you fill it out? If they did, cool, I take it, I look over it, I sign it. If they didn't, I say, okay, we're going to get to that later. I'm gauging. Does anybody here, did you make me a copy of the key? Who has the key? Oh, you need a copy of the key? Yeah, I put it in my lockbox. The lockbox is on the table. Okay, I know you guys are dying to know. Let's talk about the price. Everyone has their CMA. Everyone has a pen. I'm going to teach you a hack for market value from a homeowner perspective. You're going to circle two things. You're going to look in the top right of the CMA. You're going to circle the price it sold for, the price it listed for. You're going to go down to the bottom. You're going to look for days on market. I have them circle days on market. And then they're going to circle the sale price. I'm going to show them that there's a correlation between the days on market and percent of list price. That's my job. Now they're looking. Now they're engaged. Now they're nodding their head. While I'm going through each one, I'm going to ask them if they're familiar with the property. I'm going to ask them what they think is different about this house than that house. Did you have a chance to look at the comps? Did you have any questions? What do you guys think? How do you feel? Do you agree or disagree? If you were a buyer in this market, would you buy your house at $599 or this house at $599? Do they see the value there? I flip to the back of the CMA. I say, listen, this is computer generated. Gauged on the interaction, they're either going to want to throw up or they're going to be really excited. If they're really excited, we go with the price there. If they feel like they're going to throw up, I say, this is computer generated. What are you thinking? Because I've already set it up that it's 15% below where I would list it anyway. For those of you guys out there who are like nervous, that you feel, okay, I'm going to go to the house. What if the condition is bad? Well, okay, like how much do you think you would give for condition? You'd have to have the whole house replaced for 25%. You know what I mean? they're not, it's not a foreclosure, right? We're not doing REOs right now. We're sitting at the table with a seller who's been hopefully maintaining their property to the best of their ability. I mean, if it's really atrocious, 20% if you had to. Do you think that if you saw the comps ahead of time and looked at the material, it would help you prepare and you would be confident making that adjustment because you knew what you were talking about once you got in the house? Yeah, I think so. And I think they were more confident about it. So then we agree to a price. If we cannot agree to a price, I use the $25,000 conversation. And I say, home buyers in this area are going to look for your house in $25,000 increments. You choose. Do you want to be in this bracket or do you want to be in this bracket? There's two options, this one or this one. It's never this one, right? When people feel they have a choice, they feel better about it. So we want to empower them to make that decision. Okay, we're done with that. You can't leave that conversation until you get a range. If it's $50,000 range, your job is to squeeze it at the end of the presentation to 25, right? So you have homework to do when you close them. After that, we talk about their timeline. So what are you guys thinking? When did you want to get the house on the market? When did you want to be in Florida? Where did you want to go? Right? They're going to say, oh, well, Michelle, I really think we can get more for this house. And I'm going to say, I can appreciate that. I'm going to show them my pricing triangle. We're going to have the conversation about missing the market. I'm going to talk to them about the expense of a price reduction at this point if we have to do that. I'm going to let them know that they're playing with their own money and it's real money. It's not paper money, right? They're losing dollars in their bank account. My job is to walk them through and educate them through that. Okay, and then we agree, because I've really never not agreed. Sometimes we're a little bit off. If we're off, I say, listen, this is a great line. The market speaks to us. We put the house up and we hear crickets. We're going to know. Dennis knows where I got that line. We hear crickets, we're going to know. We need to adjust the price. In a traditional market, we're adjusting it every 2 weeks. In this market, because everything's going so rapid and fast, we're adjusting it every 7 days. So if I don't have an offer in 7 days, we've grossly missed the market. I make them commit to that. Some agents will put it right in the listing that for any time that we list and we end up having to do a price reduction, so in 30 days you do a price reduction, the listing agreement tacks on another 30 days. Right? I'm in it with you. Okay. So then we get through that, and then they have their questions about marketing, and we talk about it. And I say the most bold thing. First of all, I ask them to close all day long. So I'm like, are you ready to sell your house? Do you want to sign your house? I'm walking around. I'm like, are we ready to do this? We're hyped up. And then I say, is there anything that you didn't hear from me today that you were expecting from the agent that you were going to hire to sell your home? Is there anything you didn't hear today? My job is to sell your home in the shortest amount of time for the highest price with the least amount of inconvenience. Have I shown that to you? If they say no, we have to objection handle. If they say, I don't know, you say, well, what if you did know? I don't know when I want to move. Well, what if you did know? What would that look like?
We don't have any questions, but we want to take a couple days to think about it.
Yeah, sure. I could totally appreciate that. The cool thing about contracts in New Jersey is you have 72 hours to cancel anyway. The truth is, we were trained not to sign contracts that were being stupid or not thorough or whatever it might be that they're thinking. I would ask them, what are you thinking? Do you realize that hesitating can cost you money? Can we make a commitment today to be in business together? I work with a photographer from Manhattan, and he's really hard to get. Like, I have to book him 2 and 3 weeks out. So let me just book the appointment for you, and let's take the next step and go back in for the close afterwards. I'm not saying it works every time, but it works a lot. They already have a pen in their hand. Let's talk about commissions really quick, and then we're going to I'm going to open up for you guys if you have questions. Commissions. By the time you go through all the marketing package and the pricing, very seldom do they talk about the commission. Okay? I don't want anyone to get insulted. I take 6%. I give out 2.5%. That's industry standard. I've done it since the day I got in the business. Everyone gets offended by it. It's okay. We all run our own business. Right now, that stinks for buyers to get less than a listing agent. I never compromised my 2.5% out to the buy side, ever. You can feel good or bad about it. I feel like you guys, the buyer's agents, work really hard, and I don't want to be the reason why someone is not meeting their full income potential. That's just me. I always split it up. I never say, oh, I charge 6% or I charge 5%. We don't do price fixing. I just say the industry standard is I give out 2.5 and I take 3.5. I split it. There's a buy side and a sell. There's a buy and sell side. A lot of people don't understand that. At that point, I explain it to them. Oh no, well I thought this guy was going to charge 3%. Right, 3% on his side. Right? It's really important that they understand the differences there. And then I pick a day, and we sign it. And I say, listen, I know how you're feeling right now. You weren't expecting to sign this. You can't believe you did it. It's a whirlwind. There's a lot of emotions. You're going to wake up tomorrow morning and feel one of two ways. You're going to feel like, thank goodness that I made the decision and my house is going on the market and I've committed to this process with my family. Or, oh my gosh, I made a terrible mistake. Call me. I'll rip up the paperwork. But most people get really excited. Okay, that's it. That's my whole appointment. I leave. It's really horrible when they make you take the sign with you. Or better, when you assume that you're coming back and you leave the sign there and you see your sign like on the side of the house and like, pick up your sign. We've seen it all. I'm not saying it works great. I'm just saying it works often. Okay, how do you guys feel? Scared? Nervous? Can you do it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think? Yeah.
That was a great presentation, listing appointment, and maybe you got signed, but because you have 72 hours, or they have 72 hours to cancel. What if somebody else, another agent, shows up and they offer a 3% commission? Because that happened to me.
Okay, so I feel like once your listing agreement is signed, they're not supposed to do that. And that's an ethics challenge. And I would have a really nice conversation with the seller and just explain that if they're willing to sacrifice their ethics and bring liability on just to get paperwork signed, how do you think that they're going to handle the home sale for you?
Michelle, what was the question?
Oh, the question was, she signs the paperwork on Friday, and on Saturday another agent comes in and does it for less. A couple of things. If you get hit at the hurdle of the commission, I mean, I want the listing, right? We want the opportunity. I will take it and split it, you know what I mean? If I sell it myself, I'll give a point reduction. There are things that I always do to make it, we're friends. Usually I charge this, but because we're friends, I'm only gonna charge this. There's a way that you position it. Like usually I charge 3%, but because you and I know each other, Massimo, I'm only gonna charge 2.5. I really would love the opportunity to work with you on the buy side. If you can commit to something like that, I can figure out how we make it work. Totally not allowed to say that. Everyone says it. We're talking reality here, right, friends? Carl, how are you feeling?
Fantastic.
There was a lot of pressure. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have two questions. The first is for your pre-listing presentation. How do you do that if the seller doesn't use technology?
Usually we used to drop it off,
Okay.
right? So if the appointment is the next day and you can't get there, you can email it. Or if it's really far away, you email it. But I've always dropped it off.
Okay. Second one, for your CMA, how specific are you with your criteria?
I mean, I'm not. And just FYI, neither really are appraisers. Like if your kitchen is from 2012, 2012 or 2022. It's a wash, really, as far as value goes. So I kind of am just, is it a colonial? Does it have the bedrooms? Upgraded or not upgraded? Whatever amenity is. That's what I do. I'm not an appraiser. But I have to just say, I don't know who I was talking to the other day. I'm pretty good. Like, you'll get really good at it because you're looking at it and you're going through and you're looking for different items. I just want to say in this market, because it's a shifting market, that you're not doing like 50 comps. Okay, you're doing 6 comps. In a shifting market, it's 4 actives and 2 under contract. And if you want to put 1 or 2 closed in, that's cool. When the market starts to adjust and it's really competitive, I want to know who I'm up against, right? Because I'm using the pricing as a tool to position it in the market. I'm not trying to gauge true value. I'm trying to figure out where I can hit that 90% of buyer pool and how I can create that sense of urgency. A lot of times people get hung up on the money, and if they do, I bring them back to what their net proceeds are. Okay, amateur mistakes, realty transfer tax, just saying. So many times that's happened where agents who don't usually list forget about that expense when they're running down the line of expenses. Go ahead.
I have a question about the
Yeah.
seller's disclosure.
Sure.
You had mentioned that if you have it signed when you get there, you have the listing. Can you explain that?
Yes, so I feel like if they've filled out your paperwork and they've already signed it and it's whatever brand it is they're working with, they're committed to selling their house, I'm gauging motivation. I basically have to mess up that appointment to not leave with a signed listing. Yeah.
Do you ask the seller, do they have other appointments?
I do, I always do. I bring my sign and I put my lockbox and my stuff on the table, and based on their face, a lot of times you can tell, oh my gosh, you know. I do something, I say, are you interviewing any other agents? When I sit down, I say, you know, when was the last time you had a price evaluation on this property? You know, in the last 3 years, have you thought about selling your home? Did you speak to anyone? Who are they?
Okay, and if they do,
Okay, so I'm very competitive. I want to be the first one in. If I know ahead of time, I want the first appointment. Because I have no problem sitting down with the seller and giving the other agents an opportunity to bring their buyers to it, but I don't want my appointment canceled. I'll even go as far as to call the other agents and cancel the appointments for the seller and apologize and let them know that we've listed it. Because they don't want to break the appointment. They don't want the confrontation, right? They don't want to have to call someone and be like, hey, I had to cancel because I listed, and that person be like, you're a moron. I eliminate that.
Are we allowed to do that?
I'm allowed to, yeah. What do you mean? I'm allowed to cancel your appointment. Yeah.
I mean, you are, but are we allowed?
As agents, when you work for the seller and they say, I was going to meet Frank Pento and Dennis Freshnock, by the way, say hi, guys. This is our new Middletown crew. I would say, oh, I know Frank and Dennis. I would love to call them. I'll let them know that I'm listing the property. We work great together. I'm sure they can bring a buyer. It's okay. Guys, it's $10,000. I mean, that's average, right? Like, I don't know. I wanna get this done.
But don't do it unless you have the signature on the listing agreement.
Yeah, don't do it unless the listing agreement is signed. Thank you, Frank. All right, 2 more questions. Go ahead, Massimo.
So as far as the pre-listing presentation goes, the thing that you would drop off to them, is that something that you would drop off to someone that you know is motivated to sell their house, or would you drop it off to someone that is thinking about selling? Like, do you prospect that way? Like, how far in advance can you send it out, is my question.
Okay, so I guess it depends on what type of business you're running, right? So if you're running a prospecting-based business where you're cold calling, and I think that's advantageous for them to have. Listen, you don't even need, if you have no appointments, like you have no appointments, you have nothing going on. Like, could you talk to people about real estate? And could you use that as a way to get in the door? Yes. I mean, the comps are going to adjust with time.
Right.
But yeah. Go ahead, Dennis.
I was going to say, maybe touch base on what's the appropriate time to drop off the pre-listing packet? So if you're taking the appointment with the seller on Friday, are you doing it a day before, 2 days before?
I usually do it like 2 days before if I have the time. I also believe that appointments held within the next 72 hours are the best, right? So if I'm talking to you on Monday, I want to be in your house by Thursday or Friday. The sooner I can get into your house, the better off we are. So I don't like setting appointments for 2 weeks out or 10 days out or 15 days out. So much stuff happens. These are emotional decisions. Go ahead.
Last question.
Yeah.
What you said, last question.
Okay.
What happens if the seller says come now? Like if you get a lead and they say come now?
You come now.
But, I mean,
You
like,
go
say
right
that
now.
agent-
You go right now. And I would bring that pre-listing packet and
The pre-listing packet's already made up, like,
yeah, everything is made up.
okay.
There's so much that goes into the appointment and just the mindset behind it. I want to be 100% focused. I want to grab my packet, take my CMA, and go. So traditionally, because I was hitting like 40 appointments a month, or before that on the other team, I had to have 20 appointments, 10 buy side, 10 list side a month. And I mean, you'd be amazed what you can call a listing appointment. I'm just saying. But I always had the packets made. Because it's just something I don't want to worry about. It eliminates the fear.
Okay.
Yeah, but you go. I would bring the pre-listing if you don't have time to do a CMA. And there are a couple apps that we could share that will just tell you like home value. What is that? Snap, Home Snap. I'll get it to you. There's one that you can actually use, and it's all right. Is that it? And you drive in front of it. You click a picture of it. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I mean, it gives you a range. Yeah.
All this time, I've always done my listing presentation by doing the marketing and everything first.
Okay.
And then I do the CMA. Why do you do the CMA the pricing first?
Because people are, it's like, people are concerned about their finances. I find it to be the biggest objection that you're going to have. No one's going to object to how you do your marketing. They're going to be like, oh, I really hoped you did 250 just listed, just sold, instead of 200. They don't care. They care about what affects them right now. And I feel like it's just a distraction. You know, when acquiring talent in different industries, I always lead with compensation. I always do the rapport, the needs analysis, compensation, and then the meat and potatoes of whatever else. Uh-oh, I broke it, Art. Okay, anybody else?
Do you have a sample of both the pre-listing packet and the listing packet that you're gonna send?
I do. You guys are gonna get it emailed to you. Yeah. Yeah, it's all beautiful and rebranded. Just so you guys know, this isn't like a branded thing. This is just best practices from top agents across the country, independent of the brand.
But it's good to have our brand.
But I have one for you, yeah. Go ahead, Carl Sanfilippo.
I think, so I'm a big proponent of the pre-listing packet. I'm sure a lot of people have heard me say that. I even had a video postcard to my pre-listing packet. But what I want to say is I've talked to a lot of agents and they say, well, I didn't send the pre-listing packet because it was a referral. And I think that, you know, they know me, I didn't need to send it. And I always say is you want to treat every appointment the same, whether it's a referral or it's a cold call. You want to get attached to your process. You should have the same process every time you set that appointment and after you leave that appointment, and you shouldn't deviate from it, because I personally, I was a victim of that when I was a listing agent. I said, oh, well, this is a referral from somebody, this is gonna be a slam dunk, and I went in there and kind of winged it and didn't follow my process, and I didn't get the listing. So it's really important that you do it, and treat every client or every opportunity the same, and don't prejudge it because of the listings, in my opinion.
I mean, referrals bring what? More referrals. You know, if you're going to prepare for the people you know. Right? I mean, you should prepare for everybody. Okay, anybody else? All right, how did we do today? Did you get some good lines? Did you get some scripts? Okay, thank you.